So we just experienced three different ways to kind of experience yourself as body, a spirit and a body, your spiritual nature, your physical nature. And so what I want to just talk about is that when you as a therapist, as a helping professional living in this auric space that you have with your energy body, you're also inviting clients in, even if they're on Zoom, but you're inviting them in and they are coming into the room with their own energy. And then there's this exchange that happens. So just kind of the first tool that I would teach is one, if you have like a physical, whether you're meeting them physically or online, is to ground the room that you're in, right? Ground your body and protect your own aura. Now, I have another online class that you've done about grounding your body, and I think grounding the room is in that. So I'm going to set that to the side and we're going to just talk about like protecting your bubble in this conversation. So, but before we go into like that how to, first I just want to talk about that energetic exchange that happens kind of between two people and their energy bodies, their spiritual information. So one, we as healers will often take our clients in, or our loved ones into our bodies to try and heal them. So we're taking their energetic information into our space to try and like heal it, put a bow on it, and like hand it back to them. Like, look what I did for you. I healed you. And in an unhealthy form, that's called codependency. And another, it can be in balance, out of balance. But from an energy perspective, we're bringing their information into our space. And when other people's information is in our space, it doesn't feel very good. So I might ask you to think about like, how does being a therapist affect your energetic space?
Yeah. A lot, I think. Yeah, and I think I don't exactly know how to say it affects it. But my most recent, it's been a couple days, but there are times where I think I'm in what you just described. I think I'm in this place of, I have information that you need. Let me package it in this beautiful little gift and give it back to you. And then, go do something important with it. And, that isn't, it doesn't really work. So yeah, and so I think sometimes, yeah, this is interesting. I'm glad I'm saying this. So I also feel like there's something about my own preference for certain types of people, or maybe the way certain types of people hold their energy. I also feel like I struggle more because I serve people in person, over Zoom, and on the phone. So sometimes when I'm with people on the phone, it's harder. Like I feel like I trip into that codependent style of energy that you talked about more than the other ways. I don't know if that's true, but it doesn't feel comfortable. That's all I can, like I don't exactly know how to describe it except to say that I can feel that I'm not in the space that I want to be as a healer in those moments. And I can often, become aware of it and shift my energy. So maybe I am doing some type of grounding in those moments when I become aware of it. But sometimes it's, I kind of can't, or I do it maybe for a little bit, but then I slip back in to this like not great energetic space. I don't know if that's clear, but
It's clear and it's awesome. We're going to dive into it in a second. But my dog is snoring and I'm going to kick her out. So I just heard all the different ways that maybe you lose your space. Or sometimes you're like more in your space bubble, and sometimes you're diving more into your client's space bubble, depending on who the client is, depending on probably how well rested you are, depending on the modality, whether they're in person or on the phone or whatever. And this is, again, no judgment. We do this all throughout the day. So it's not a problem. It's normal. But having some energy hygiene practices can help us with that. So what do you notice in your body when you lose your space? How do you feel? Or how do you feel at the end of your workday?
Well, when it's happening, I feel agitated, usually. I feel a sense of agitation or a sense of like impatience, maybe. And I don't know that I'm necessarily always tracking on how I actually feel at the end of my day, because I tend to feel grateful that my day is over. I'm just like so glad that my day is over and that I can move into my own energy or to my own sort of, like whatever it is I'm going to do, whether it's resting, exercising, enjoying a meal. I kind of move into that space of gratitude.
Because you have a beautiful self-care practice. You know how to take care of yourself and like what your body needs to restore. But my guess is that some of that resting, some of that exercising is also about moving your client's energy out of your space. Do you have an awareness of that as a way of kind of cleaning your system out?
Well, I'm beginning to. I didn't think of it that way before, but other conversations that I've had with you, with other people that are part of my support network, I have been sort of seeing it as that. So I think what I don't do is I'm not very intentional about it. I'm just sort of doing what I've always done, because this is kind of, my exercise, my self-care, like the enjoyment I get from certain meals and food prep and stuff. These are things I've always done. I don't ever question them. I don't often think about them. It's like autopilot. It's just what I do. But I am seeing now that in talking to people, like bringing intention to it can actually help, I think. So
you're leveling up. You're leveling up in your bubble. So just the effects. So what I would want to just talk about is like what happens when we take other people into our space and we as healers try to heal them in our own aura. And oftentimes we take people into our second chakra and our lower belly can feel heavy. We can have digestive issues. Things can kind of move slowly. That irritation that you spoke about, anxiety, irritation, depression is all an effect of having other people's energy in our space. We can feel like loss of our own vitality or creativity, loss of sexual desire. These are all things that happen when we run other people's information in our body, because running our own spiritual information is like high octane fuel. It cleans out the carburetors. We're running at our best, right? Running other people's information, we start to feel stuck. And when we feel stuck, it starts to sound like, I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to turn left or right. I'm confused, right? Like all of that is just an expression of stuck energy in our body. So it might come across as thoughts or feelings or sensations in our body, but all of it I'm talking about from an energetic perspective. Does that make sense?
100%.
Okay, and we all have it. It's all normal. Again, none of this is like thou shalt not. It's just, again, about energy hygiene. So that's one side of the energetic transfer, is that we as the healer take the client or our loved ones, people in our lives, into our body to try and heal them. And a lot of us have been raised to be healers in our family of origin. A lot of us came on the planet to be healers, so we're just playing that out. On the other side of the page, some clients will, let me just say it this way, sometimes we will also enter into our client's space. So we are giving ourself away to them as well. Mm-hmm. So that transfer of information, they can come into us and we can also go into them. So that when they leave the session and walk out the door, they're taking little bits of us with them. It's like a little present. Here's my healing energy, here you go. And they take it with them out into the day.